Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. It is an honor to participate in this important meeting. Of course, regretting not being there in person with you because of a previous commitment. My name is Juan Chebly, and I serve as lead advisor to the UN Environment Program. My task is to coordinate the entire UN system in finding convergence and cooperation on environmental strategies, system-wide. However, I was also part of the team that was tasked with the design of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. In the year 2013, the Secretary General, at the time Mr. Ban Ki-moon, gave us a paramount task, a mandate to create the most inclusive development agenda that the world had ever seen. For this, we had to reach out to the world like never before. The outcome of that was hearing back from over 10 million people who shared their dreams and their aspirations across 193 countries. Those voices resounded and echoed in the halls of the United Nations while member states were negotiating the Sustainable Development Goals. What we have now is a comprehensive to-do list for humanity, anchored in human rights. Your task today is to learn about the Sustainable Development Goals, their 169 targets, and over 200 indicators that would lead the way for humanity to ensure its own existence. I repeat, for humanity to ensure its own existence. And I am not exaggerating. If we look at present calamities worldwide, droughts, massive storms, migration, forced migration like we have never seen before, and sometimes even war, we know that we live in troubled times and that we have to change course because business as usual is simply not going to cut it. However, we have a common agenda, a framework, and a roadmap. Now, all we have to do is come together so that we can finally move together towards a better planet, a better world. But the change starts within us. So coming together to take action is a massive first step. But as a global society, we also have to commit our resources, prioritize sustainable development at all levels. When I was working towards inclusion and participation for the design of the Sustainable Development Goals, I looked at research by Columbia University, which was estimating how much would it take us to achieve these goals in money, in resources. And the estimate was $200 billion extra in investments per year worldwide. Out of these 200 billion, 110 was estimated that the investments would come from the private sector. Big corporations, medium corporations, and also small businesses and entrepreneurs all over the world, focusing on impact investment, focusing on more than profits, so that the world doesn't beat to the sound of quarterly financial statements, but more to the beat of the human dignity of all. So the remaining $90 billion per year would then come from the public sector. This is why it is of paramount importance that our governments start to prioritize education, healthcare for all, averting and mitigating climate change, and putting their money where their mouth is to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. When you compare this figure, $90 billion, to, say, military spending, for example, we see that it's a stark comparison. It's only 5% of what we spend in military and defense. Only 5% of military and defense spending worldwide would be enough for governments to cover their share towards the achieving of the Sustainable Development Goals. This is exactly why, at the time, I started the Give Me 5 campaign. And the Give Me 5 campaign is basically a campaign worldwide that is empowering people to find a way for governments and basically everybody to invest more in peace and less in war. to come together to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, it has been a pleasure to share with you. And remember, we do have a plan. And just like President John F. Kennedy said in 1963, by defining our goal more clearly, making it seem more manageable and less remote, we can help all people to see it, to draw hope from it, and to move irresistibly towards it. So let us move together. Let us spread the word about the Sustainable Development Goals, and let's take action now. Thank you very much, and fruitful deliberations.